Why we look away, the hidden psychology of fear, and how to take back the wheel. Fear has a strange way of stealing our lives without ever raising its voice. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't push, it pulls. And most terrifyingly, it doesn't always show up as panic or shaking hands, sometimes it shows up as avoidance, silence, hesitation, the inability to look directly at the thing we want most. You know that moment, when the person you are attracted to looks at you and you look away even though your heart is begging you to hold eye contact. When you're offered an opportunity and something in your chest pulls your gaze downward. When you dream of a bigger life, a higher self, a more powerful version of you, yet something inside says not now, not me, not ready. Today in this audiobook, we are going to expose that something. We are going to uncover the anatomy of fear, the psychology of avoidance, the neuroscience behind why fear literally hijacks your attention, your identity, and your destiny. And then, we're going to take all of it back, because this is your upgrade, your awakening, your transformation. This audiobook is written by Samantha Munetsi, a renowned writer and psychotherapy expert. Thanks for tuning in. Get ready to get real value for your time. I'm on a mission to help you shed the old skin, step out of the shadows, and walk boldly into the life that God, destiny, and your higher self have been holding out for you. Let's dive in. Let's start with the truth most people never hear. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is a messenger. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." And nowhere is that more accurate than with fear. When you avoid fear, it grows. When you look away, it takes the wheel. When you distract yourself, dampen your feelings, or run from the thing that scares you, fear begins to shape your life more than any dream ever could. Why do we look away from fear? Why can't we face it? Why does the body, the nervous system itself, seem to betray us in the moments we need courage the most? To understand this, we need to go inside the brain, inside the wiring, inside the system God designed to protect you, but that has now overextended its job description. The moment you encounter something new, something risky, something emotionally loaded, your brain begins to scan for danger. Not physical danger only, but emotional danger, social danger, rejection, abandonment, embarrassment, loss of belonging. And this is where neuroscience meets psychology. The brain does not distinguish between a lion and a breakup, between a gun and a job interview, between starvation and rejection. In the nervous system, threat is threat. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, activates instantly. Cortisol rises. The sympathetic nervous system switches on. Your blood shifts from your prefrontal cortex, the logical, forward-thinking part of your mind, to your limbs. Your body literally prepares you to run or freeze. This is why you look away. This is why your words disappear. This is why you forget what to say. This is why you hesitate. Because in that moment, fear steals your executive functioning. It takes the wheel. And here's the part most people never learn. Fear freezes the gaze before it freezes the body. That moment when you look away, that's survival. In neuroscience, we call it gaze aversion, a natural reflex to avoid what the brain perceives as too intense, too vulnerable, or too dangerous to fully engage with. You're not weak, you're wired. But here's where Robert Greene's insights become vital. Every time you avoid something, you reinforce its power over you. Every time you look away, every time you shrink, every time you retreat, you teach your mind, this thing is too big. This thing is dangerous. We cannot handle this. Fear becomes a habit, a story, an identity, a self-fulfilling prophecy. What we fear has a way of becoming real in our everyday lives because fear is not just an emotion, it is a filter, a lens, a subconscious command that shapes our behavior without us noticing. When you fear abandonment, you may become clingy, guarded, or overly accommodating, which ironically pushes people away and recreates the very abandonment you were afraid of. When you fear failure, you procrastinate, shrink your goals, or avoid taking action, and the lack of action becomes the failure itself. When you fear rejection from a potential partner, you may withdraw, overthink your messages, avoid eye contact, or act too cool, which creates emotional distance and leads to the rejection you hope to avoid. When you fear not having enough money, you may hoard, refuse opportunities, or stay in toxic environments due to scarcity thinking, which blocks financial growth and keeps you stuck. Fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy because it makes you behave in ways that recreate the very reality you're trying to escape. But here is the counter move. Instead of acting from fear, act from clarity and presence. If you fear abandonment, choose secure behaviors, slow communication, expressing needs, taking emotional risks that build real connection. If you fear failure, take small daily actions toward your goals. Momentum kills fear. If you fear rejection, lean into authenticity. Speak honestly, show interest, hold eye contact. The right people respond to truth, not performance. If you fear lack, make bold, faith-centered decisions that align with expansion rather than restriction. Invest in yourself, learn new skills, stay open to opportunities. And most importantly, when fear rises, pause, breathe, and choose the behavior that aligns with your higher self, not your wounded self. When your decisions come from courage rather than survival, you stop manifesting a life shaped by fear. Fear is not truth. Fear is a memory. Fear is an association. Fear is a prediction based on the past, not a prophecy about your future. That is why your higher self keeps calling you. That is why your spirit keeps pulling you forward. That is why your dreams won't leave you alone. Because God did not design you to live from your amygdala. He designed you to live from your spirit, your purpose, your vision. When fear takes the wheel, your life becomes small. When courage takes the wheel, your life becomes divine. So let's ask the real question. What would happen if you stopped looking away? What if you allowed yourself to feel the fear fully without collapsing under it? What if you noticed the racing heart, the tight chest, the trembling hands, and didn't retreat? What if you held the eye contact? What if you walked into the meeting? What if you spoke the truth? What if you set the boundary? What if you chose the partner that your wounds said you didn't deserve, but your soul said you did? Let me tell you what would happen. Your nervous system would recalibrate. Your amygdala would quiet. Your prefrontal cortex would come back online. You would literally rewire your brain, then your body, then your identity, then your destiny. One moment of facing fear creates a lifetime of freedom. When you stop looking away, you begin to look inward. That's when transformation begins. Fear is not here to kill you. Fear is here to reveal you. Reveal your unhealed wounds. Reveal your suppressed desires. Reveal your dormant potential. Fear shows you where your next level lives. If you are scared of something, it means two things. One, you have a wound there, and two, you have a destiny there. Fear points to your future. Fear draws the map. Fear shows you exactly where your greatness is hiding. Your dream life sits behind the door. Fear is guarding. But let's go deeper. Jung believed that fear is the gatekeeper of the shadow, the locked away parts of ourselves we don't want to see. We look away not because the world is scary, but because we are scared of meeting ourselves. We're scared of our anger, our desire, our power, our truth, our softness, our ambition, our brilliance. We hide from the fullness of who we could become because somewhere along the line, we internalize the belief that being too much, too loud, too visible, too bold was dangerous. And that belief lives in your body. Trauma is not just emotional, it is neurological. It shapes your posture, your breathing, your reactions, your interpretation of the world. But the good news is this: trauma can be rewired. Habits can be reshaped. Fear can be dethroned. You can take back the wheel. It begins with awareness. The next time you're scared, pause. Not to retreat, not to negotiate, but to observe. Say to yourself, my body is trying to protect me, but this is not a lion. This is a life upgrade. Feel the fear. Breathe slowly. Let your gaze soften. Keep looking at the thing that scares you. Keep your attention on it. You are teaching your brain in real time that this moment is safe. You were not born to look away. You were born to look within. And from that place, deep, grounded, aligned with God and your higher self, you will begin to live differently. Fear will still speak, but it will not control. Fear will still whisper, but you will not bow. If you truly want to break free, first, when fear rises, don't run. Meet it. Choose one small action that aligns with the life you actually want, not the life fear has trained you to settle for. When your instinct is to shrink, soften instead. Stay. Hold the gaze. Hold the boundary. Hold the moment. This is how you teach your nervous system that you, not fear, are the one in charge. If this message stirred something in you, if it woke up the part of you that knows you were made for more, subscribe, like, and share it. Do it also for the people who are still living half lives because fear has been driving the car. Share it so they can rise too. You are stepping into your courageous self now. Break the limit. Fear is no longer the author of your story. You are.